If I had to sum it up in a short sentence,
Mhm.
I'd almost want to borrow a concept that's quite popular in the cannabis world and put it onto the medicinal mushroom world, and it's called the entourage effect. A lot of the medicinal mushrooms, reishi particularly, um, has an entourage effect, meaning it has a group of constituents that actually works on various things in the body. And this last fall, in China at the 10th annual, or not the annual, the 10th International Mushroom Conference, this whole entourage effect was discussed quite a bit among some of the senior researchers there, which was very exciting to see that it was a concept that was working in my mind and stuff like that. And as soon as I brought it up, a whole bunch of other people go, "Oh yeah, yes, yes, it really makes sense, the entourage effect, etc." Of how that applies to the body. I also would have to push one more level into there. We now know that a lot of these medicinal mushrooms really interacts heavily with the endocannabinoid system. Again, borrowing something from the cannabis thing, it's almost too bad that the ECS of the endocannabinoid system was discovered only in cannabis, because there's many other herbs, from turmeric to echinacea to a lot of medicinal mushrooms interact with that. The reason I'm going into that kind of thing, it shows us a new mechanism. Certainly, we have all kinds of mechanisms of how the polysaccharides work, how the triterpenes work, how some of the amino acids and some of the nitrogen groups work, and we can go into that in whatever detail you want to. But when you actually start getting into the ECS, and I'm going to call that, instead of the endocannabinol thing, to lower the concept of the cannabinol in it, it really puts us into kind of a harmonic coherence. And if I had to say what it does more than anything else, it creates a harmonic convergence, or a harmonic coherence, that actually helps regulate our overall body. That's why when I first saw it, it sounded like the original snake oil, because it looked like it did everything. Did so many things that it was hard to believe. And that was where when I first started looking at it in the late 80s and early 90s, I couldn't believe what was claimed for it to do that it did. But through clinical experience, I found that it does everything from allergies to insomnia to nervous problems to lung problems to immune problems, et cetera, et cetera. One of the concepts you brought up is adaptogen. And I would have to say it's one of the truest adaptogen, substantially better than things like ginseng, for example, is considered an adaptogen. It's not a true adaptogen because it has some problems related to it. Maybe Eleutherococcus senocosus, or the Siberian ginseng, is a little closer to an adaptogen. Certainly, the chaga mushroom is an adaptogen, and there are several other herbs that fit into that category.